1 year ago, my daughter and I competed in the Rubik's Cube World Championships. Not bad considering we only learned to solve a Rubik's Cube the previous year. I took a ton of footage at that 4-day competition, in part to test out my new 360 camera, which I figured would just be for ourselves. But with the recent release of the Netflix documentary that was partly shot at this same competition, I thought, let's release this footage. And so here it is, in 4 chapters, our experience of the biggest cubing event in recent history. Watch to the end because I'm also going to explain how I was lucky enough to be chosen to make the opening ceremony video. I know, right? Chapter 1. The venue. The beautiful Melbourne Convention and Exhibition Centre would host this year's World Rubik's Championships. I still remember that exciting day they announced that Australia won the bid, going up against Belarus and China. Because, I mean, a 2-hour interstate flight from Brisbane to Melbourne was nothing compared to how far cubers from all over the world travelled to this one event. Indeed, there were nearly 1,000 competitors there from over 50 countries, not including friends and families. It was truly the Olympics of cubing. And man, what a competition venue. The auditorium could seat over 3,000 people, with a stage large enough for nearly 50 cubers to be competing at any one time. There were cameras live streaming the entire event, as well as a control center from which commentators worked. Outside the plenary, a short-ish walk upstairs, was the competitors area, a warm-up space in which the world's best were getting ready for their events. You might be wondering what I was even doing there, given my noob status. More on that soon. Needless to say though, being here was every cuber's dream. Hey man, who should we subscribe to?
Probably Tingman and Tino Cube. Yeah.
The World Championships was sponsored by Rubik's and organised by the World Cube Association, this year by the Australian branch. At the WCA booth, we saw some pretty humorous responses to some questions they had asked. What are you most looking forward to as well? The last of the World Champions to reconcile our relationship. Chapter 2. The Solves. But of course, my daughter and I hadn't come just to be spectators, but to compete. In cubing circles, that's really just another way of saying taking part. To be clear, many people did come to try and win titles, but most cubers who enter competitions do so to get their times officially recorded. So, when it's your event time, you make your way up to the stage, drop your cube in a box, and enter the waiting area until they call your name. Then you make your way to a table at which a judge takes you through the whole process from start to finish. All you need to be able to do is solve a cube, fast, or not so fast, as the case may be. My daughter and I took part in the 2x2, 3x3, pyramids, and this cube, and I also competed in the 4x4 and blindfold 3x3. And I think it's time for a competition montage. Enjoy!
Okay. Sorry. Careful. You can move the chair back. You good? Tell me when you're ready. Ready? 7.93.
My daughter got some incredible times for the 3x3, an amazing single of 17 seconds, plus beating her previous average at 20 seconds.
Good girl, well done.
I had some pretty ordinary solves, but I got my first ever 13-second solve in comp, which I was really happy with. Pyraminx and Scoob were, well, Pyraminxy and Scooby.
13 is actually not terrible.
And I averaged about a minute on the 4x4, which is, well, pretty average. But my blindfold self was very cool. To qualify for this event, I needed to have had a sub 3-minute single, which I just managed to get at the previous comp. So I wasn't expecting a lot this time, just really hoping for a success since, you know, I was in front of 1,000 people. But not only did I succeed, I also got a new personal best at 2 minutes 23 seconds. So happy with that. Chapter 3, the people. But there's another reason why people love cubing competitions, and it's sometimes even better than the cubing itself. It's meeting other people like you. People who have not only fallen in love with the sport, but who are so happy to help others in their journey and celebrate wins together. We've met plenty like that at our previous comps, but this was the first time we got to meet cubers from around the planet. I got to meet Kevin Hayes, Chris Olsen, Cornelius Dykman, Daniel and Jesse, better known as Derpy Cuba and JR Cuba, filmmakers, ambassadors, cubers, but most of all, great people. And because of a little project I did on the side called One Cube Many Cubers, I pushed my introverted self out there and also got to meet dozens of other influential cubers like Dana Yee, Leo Borromeo, Timon Koloshinsky, and Mats Volk. Absolute celebrities in the cubing world, but when you get to meet them, down-to-earth people who all have one thing in common. This. Chapter 4, the legacy. But these last two things made this competition one we will always remember. Firstly, my daughter was chosen to cut a cake in honor of Erno Rubik, inventor of the Rubik's Cube, whose birthday was during the competition.
Birthday to you. Whoa, we don't want that to roll off. Yay! Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen!
But as if that wasn't enough, several months before the event, I was asked to put together the official opening ceremony video. To this day, it remains one of my biggest honors.
Selamat datang di kejuaraan Rubik's International.
Tervetuloa Rubikin kuution maailmanmestaruuskisoihin.
Rubik's Cube World Championship में आपका स्वागत है.
欢迎来到魔方世锦赛。
Velkommen til verdensmesterskabet i speedcubing.
Welcome to Australia, and welcome to Worlds.
Not only did I get to make contacts all around the world, but the feeling of witnessing your video get watched by thousands of people, it's just surreal. I got to be a significant part of the 9th ever World Cubing Championships, something much bigger than me. If you get the chance to attend a cubing competition, what can I say? Do it. I will never forget this experience, and I'm so glad I'm now able to share it with all of you. If you want to see more from this competition, check out this video I made explaining how I made One Cube Many Cubers, which has now gone a little bit viral, or this cute interview I had with some famous cubers.
Thank you, Melbourne. You've been great. You've also been very rainy and cold. Thanks for watching the video. Bye.